This will be a brief video going over some of the essential things to keep in mind when considering an eMAR system. With more and more facilities going electronic, as well as more and more eMARs coming out, it's essential to know what to look for when making a decision. So the first thing, of course, is security. With an eMAR, there's HIPAA-related information involved, and so you need to know, are they using the right type of encryption? Is the encryption they're using up to par in terms of HIPAA standards? As well as does the software company you're using, do they have a business associate agreement with whatever cloud platform they're using, as well as one of the most important things is do they have role-based access, which that essentially means can you turn off or turn on different parts of the system depending on who's using it. So like with staff, don't allow them to delete the MAR, those types of things. So security is a huge thing, especially when dealing with HIPAA. The second thing is ease of use, especially in smaller residential homes. The care staff don't have a lot of experience using technology, and so it becomes more and more important what the software looks like. And I'll go into later why it's important, also what it can do, but what it looks like is important because you need to have a software that has very little clicks. You don't want to have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clicks just to initial the MAR. And then another big thing is, does it have a mobile app? Everybody is becoming more and more used to using apps like Facebook, or even we can do taxes on our apps. So does it have an app? Is it very easy to navigate? Does the platform itself look like more of the things that we're using in our day-to-day lives in terms of apps? So that's important. Is it user friendly? If it doesn't look like when you're seeing it that you could use it, or you have concerns, that probably means that your care staff will not be able to use it. The third is customer support. An eMAR is not only a software, but aside from that, you're building a relationship with a company. And so does that eMAR system have a team of customer support individuals behind it, so that when at 11 o'clock in the afternoon, or at night, or 5 a.m. in the morning when it stops working, or there's an issue, can you call somebody at that company and get answers? You don't want to have to call and deal with an AI bot, or call and deal with somebody in a foreign country. You want to be able to call, quickly get answers from somebody who understands your business. And so that's essential to keep in mind. Is there a customer support component to that eMAR? And what does that look like? The fourth thing is price. Of course, you want to get the best bang for your buck. And so it's important to consider, when you look at an eMAR price, is that price alone, or is there other prices? I know some eMARs will do a per facility plus a per resident, but when they're talking about the price, they're only mentioning the per resident. And so the facility price only shows up on the agreement, and you get a little shocked, like, oh, I thought the price was this, now it's that. So keep that in mind, as well as there should be a good return on investment. If you're having to continually dump money into the system, let's say the staff can't use it, and so you have to let them go, and you have to hire new staff and different things like that. So keep that in mind. When it comes to price as well, all good things come at a price. And so if the price is extremely low, you might be sacrificing some of the things that we talked about earlier. You might be sacrificing security, because HIPAA and the encryption that's related does cost more than a normal software. So if you do see a price that looks super low compared to other eMARs, you might want to ask yourself, why is that the case? And then the fifth thing is functionality. When it comes to, especially an eMAR, all eMARs, of course, you can probably initial the MAR, because that's an essential part of an eMAR. But there's other things to keep in mind, like log-dependent medications. For example, with blood pressures, does the software allow you to restrict staff to initial as long as the blood pressure or blood sugar is out of range? So there's things like that, as well as is there a notification or alert system set in place, so that if the staff does forget, they're very busy, as well as I do, that it's not always going to be done right when it needs to be done. And so is there a notification system in place to alert you or the staff if the MAR is not being complete? And then the last thing is I've seen other eMARs that will kind of lock you out. Like let's say um, you had the AM shift and you didn't do the MAR, it will lock the staff out, and so they can't document for the AM shift. And now they're having to call the administrator, and the administrator's having to unlock it. And so different things like that can cause a lot of hassle. An eMAR should help you and not the inspector. So if an eMAR is causing you trouble, it's making it more difficult, it's marking things as missed, and now you're more worried about inspections, it might be time to consider, is this helping or hurting me? And so those are 5 of the essential things to keep in mind. Those are questions you definitely should be asking the individuals that you're talking to about an eMAR system. Yeah, I would say that these 5 things are going to decide whether or not that eMAR system is going to be a good fit for you. And hopefully that's helpful. Thank you.